Hi, I'm Jonathan Morrow, and I'm the Director of Cultural Engagement for Impact 360 Institute, and we are excited because we get to work with the next generation, equipping them in biblical worldview and leadership. And so we get to work with teenagers, high school students, college students every day. But we also wanted to work on a study with the Barna Group exploring Gen Z and what's broadly shaping them, their views, their attitudes, the lens through which they view reality and culture and everything else. And so we've been working on that with the Barna Group for the past year and really excited about launching this in January. And so joining me today to talk about some of this stuff is Brooke Hemphill, and she is the Senior Vice President of Research for the Barna Group, and we've gotten to work together on this project, and so we're really excited about this. But one of the things that has been interesting to see as we've talked about this is each generation is kind of shaped by major lifetime events. So as you look at Gen Z, what are some of those things from a lifetime event standpoint that are shaping this generation?
Sure. Well, first of all, they've grown up in a post-9/11 world, so that means they've been impacted by security, and that's impacted not only their life, but their psyche to some degree. And as a part of that, they've also grown up in the post-recession world. So they may have experienced losing their home or their parents going through bankruptcy. They may have friends or family members who couldn't get a job out of college and were burdened by college debt as a result of that recession. So that's impacted their outlook on life. Additionally, they've grown up with technology in their hands since very early on. So this is the first generation that's really digital natives. And that impacts the way that they interact with the world. And so we'll talk about that. It's had a lot of impacts on Gen Z. And then one of the other important demographic factors about them is that they are the most ethnically diverse generation yet in our country's history. So this past year's kindergarten had more minorities than majority ethnicities. That's a big deal. They also grew up with the very first African-American president who was in that position in their childhood. So that was very defining for their impressions of ethnicity. And then that was followed by a very polarizing President Trump. So all these world events and many others kind of came together to shape their worldview and how they see the world and how they interact with the world and kind of what they value.
Yeah, and you talked about the financial piece. One of those things is seeing students how they view money, how they view relationships, and maybe one day marriage and a job and all of those things. All that's going to be very different growing up in a world of less security about all those kind of things, and the way that they kind of see how much they can control and not control. And that'll be interesting to see how they kind of grow into that as young adults. Exactly.
And so we looked at this and we said, what then do educators and parents and spiritual leaders who are working with teens and college students, what do they do with all this information? So we went and asked some experts. In January, our report's going to come out of all the trends that we've just talked about and so much more. And we've kind of interspersed that with some perspectives from experts who work with teens and who have a sense of how to interpret the trends that are happening and then how to respond in a way that can really speak into this generation.
Yeah, and it's great. And we're really excited because we're going to be having a live event. We're going to be unpacking these findings on January 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're watching this, we want you to sign up for that event. But if you can't be there locally with us in Atlanta, as much as we want you to be, you can watch online. We'll have a national webcast as well. And you'll be able to sign up to be able to interact with those findings as the president of the Barna Group, David Kinnaman, and myself and others, and Brooke and Roxanne Stone and others will be unpacking this information at that live event, and we'll be webcasting this, and you can find out all that information at whoisgenz.com. So we encourage you to sign up, and we hope you'll take advantage of this because we're really excited about this research and really the implications this could have for shaping this next generation to better understand them, because our goal is we want to see them follow Jesus. We want to see them grow in their faith. But there's so much going on in this world right now. It's moving so fast. It's a really important time.